pass it on, and that really is the danger.
A warning from the governor. His message to college students as Ohio State and other schools see a spike in cases.
It could be a wild ride. We're going to tell you why the state is turning to Cedar Point to help get them ready for an unprecedented election.
Allergies or COVID, how to separate your seasonal symptoms from the virus.
We picked up COVID-19 from very close family friends.
A warning from The Rock. Hear his post-recovery message before you plan a big get-together for the holiday weekend.
Just for men, mustache and beard coloring, light brown. Not that I need it now, of course.
Quarantine confessions. Mike Polk Jr. tells us some of the wackiest things we've been ordering during the pandemic. What's new starts now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Set up the house.
Betsy and I are just talking whether or not we've ordered anything wacky. I can't wait to see Mike's piece.
Yeah, wacky.
I don't think I have.
No, just like
Different,
things I
maybe.
never thought I would need, like, a special little baker's rack and a computer filing system for school at my house. But
Different.
other than that, it's definitely new things.
All right. Well, hey, everybody, it is Thursday. Hello again, Northeast Ohio. Welcome to What's New. Thanks so much for joining us. I hope you're gearing up for a nice, safe 3-day holiday weekend. Alongside Betsy Kling, I'm Jay Crawford.
Hi there, Jay and everybody. Well, we're going to start with some developing news out of Columbus. 882 Ohio State students have tested positive for coronavirus since mid-August. There's been a big jump just this week, with 171 cases reported Monday among students who live on campus and 93 positive cases among students who live off campus. Now remember, the positivity rate is that number that we have been keeping such a very close eye on, and the positivity rate for off-campus students Monday was 9.66%. 20 staff members have also tested positive. And the spike in cases at Ohio's largest public university was also on Governor Mike DeWine's mind today at his daily briefing. Tiffany Tarpley joins us live with that part of the story. Tiffany, I got to tell you, schools have been in now for a few weeks, and we know that there's an incubation period with this coronavirus, so I really don't think anybody's surprised by this, but it's one of those here we go kind of moments.
Yeah, right. We're starting to see those results, Betsy. And it's not just Ohio State. We are also talking about Dayton, Miami University, and Cincinnati as well. And the governor really wants us to know that these universities, they are doing a good job when it comes to testing. That is why we are seeing a 35% spike in COVID cases in people ages 18 to 22. But he also says students ignored the large gathering rules. And now the schools, and in some cases, the counties they're located in, are paying the price.
Message to college students is the same message that presidents have had for the college students in pretty blunt terms. And that is, if you want to stay here, if you want to stay in class and have a college year, things have to be different. Have to wear masks, have to not go to large parties, have to keep the social distance.
And so DeWine also warned that with Labor Day weekend starting tomorrow, that what we do now will determine what our fall looks like. If you remember, we saw a spike in those COVID cases in July. That was after the 4th of July holiday. Well, we have to really think about the protocols here, wearing that mask, social distancing. Betsy says it's not necessarily about where you go. It's about what you do and how you do it.
All right, Tiffany, thank you so much for that report. Certainly good information.
Well, Betsy, as for the numbers statewide, we are still trying to find some sort of trend here, and there really isn't one. Big spike today, 1,345 cases. This after all 4 of our major data points yesterday were down. This is a jump of 188 positive cases day over day. The other numbers, our positivity rate, that clicked up slightly from 3.8% yesterday to 4.1% today. Hospitalizations down slightly to 742. Deaths, though, took a big spike. There were 11 yesterday. There were 50 deaths reported today. Well, if you looked at the calendar today, you may have realized that today, September 3rd, we are exactly 2 months out from electing our next president. November 3rd, 2 months away, and Ohio is bracing for long lines at the polls because of social distancing that will be in place and a shortage of poll workers. Today, state leaders turn to an unlikely source for advice, Cedar Point. Mark Namick explains how the amusement park's pandemic experience might help voters on Election Day.
Known for its roller coasters and large crowds, Cedar Point's been forced to spread out its patrons since the pandemic began. Today, it shared what it's learned about managing crowds with top elections officials, including Secretary of State Frank LaRose. Cedar Point General Manager Jason McClure says the park's many visual and audio cues help remind people to spread out, but having workers offer in-person reminders is key to line management, as well as insisting everyone follow the rules.
If everyone's going to enjoy the park, then everybody has to kind of work together to follow the guidelines for health and safety that's out there. And I think it's the same thing for voting, right? And it's you have to be respectful when we remind people of what our policies are and those requirements. But it's important that we do, reinforce it and get our guests accountable in that way. Because if everyone's social distancing 6 feet apart, they will extend further, but they'll move quicker, which is a good thing for people to know in advance.
Of course, managing crowds on Election Day comes down to having enough poll workers, and officials say they still need thousands. On what matters most, you'll hear from a voter who's willing to work the polls for the first time. Mark Namick, 3 News.
Well, everybody, it's that time of the year for fall allergies. And allergy sufferers, you know what I'm talking about, the itchy, watery eyes, runny nose, scratchy throat. Doesn't that sound like something else that we have going on right now? Isn't it confusing? Allergies versus COVID. The symptoms are very similar in some cases. The CDC even released this infographic, that long list in the middle, that shows the common symptoms between COVID v. allergy. So we went to the experts. We talked to Dr. Sam Friedlander, an allergist at university hospitals. He said there are 3 big symptoms to look out for that point more toward coronavirus.
There are some symptoms of COVID and other viruses that are different. So fever, chills can be symptoms that occur with COVID that doesn't typically occur with asthma or allergy symptoms. And also the loss of smell and taste is unique in COVID, and also stomach symptoms like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea.
Well, there's something else to keep in mind. If you have allergy symptoms around this time every year, that's another good indicator it's probably your seasonal allergies and not COVID. That being said, still wear your mask, wash your hands, and don't touch your face. Symptoms can also be pretty well controlled, of course, your allergy symptoms with the right medications. But if you have any concerns, as always, reach out to your doctor. And Jay, every morning I get up and I have notifications set up on my Twitter feed to get the AMNCO, which is the Academy of Medicine here in Northeast Ohio. They put out pollen reports, and I can tell you mold is low and ragweed is moderate for the day today.
Okay, that's a good idea, actually, to get that daily info, particularly if those are the things that you're allergic to. I'm not alone, Betsy, and you may be in this boat too. Throughout this pandemic, there have been a number of times when I've coughed, just a normal cough, where I've actually asked myself, am I sick? I think we're all a little bit paranoid, and particularly with the allergies, because a lot of those symptoms overlap. So it's mostly you want to think about the fever and the loss of taste and smell, and then the intestinal stuff too. So there you go. All right, it is 7 minutes past the top of the hour right now. Time to get a check of other stories making headlines. Russ Mitchell has made his way to the news desk, and he joins us for that. Good afternoon, Russ. Am I alone? Have you not coughed once or twice where you've thought to yourself, all
the time. In fact, I coughed a minute ago, and I wanted to let you both know that I'm okay. It's all good.
Okay, very good.
It is all good.
I think we're all paranoid now.
I totally agree with you. Good afternoon, folks, and good afternoon to you at home as well. A police group is asking the Chardon School District to reverse its ban on the thin blue line flag. The Ohio Fraternal Order of Police president sent a letter to Chardon superintendent calling the district's decision ill-considered. The Chardon School Board banned that flag after a student carried one onto the field before last Friday night's football game. Facebook says it will ban new political ads for the week leading up to Election Day, saying that will help prevent campaigns and their supporters from declaring premature victories. Facebook says it will also remove posts that attempt to suppress voting. Encouraging news on the unemployment front today. Nationwide, just over 800,000 filed claims, but that's a sharp drop from the week before. Statewide, fewer than 19,000 claims were filed last week. And this is what you call pretty good news for Mackenzie Scott. She is the former wife of Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. She is now the richest woman in the world. She is worth $67 billion with a B due to a recent tech stock surge, which caused Amazon's value to spike. My guess is she's smiling somewhere, maybe having a cocktail or whatever, but life is good, as they say.
I had another good day today.
Exactly.
All right, thanks a lot, Russ. We'll catch up with you again in just a little bit.
She married well. She divorced better.
Wow.
That is incredible. Okay, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has a warning as we head into the holiday weekend, and this is something we all need to hear. This after he and his wife and both of their children tested positive for COVID-19. The 48-year-old movie star says his family has been in isolation for 6 months, but they ended up picking up the virus from close friends. He says those friends are now devastated. The kids had mild cases, but it actually took he and his wife 3 weeks to recover, and his wife had the worst case of it.
And I could tell you that this has been one of the most challenging and difficult things we have ever had to endure as a family. But testing positive for COVID-19 is much different than overcoming nasty injuries or being evicted or even being broke, which I have been more than a few times.
Now, Betsy, he described the experience as a real kick in the gut, and he says moving forward, he's going to have stricter rules for anyone visiting his home. He wants all of those visitors to be tested before they come over. And from that one picture there, I can see COVID didn't affect his biceps any. He still looks like he's plenty strong enough. But this is interesting, Vets, because typically most people that get it, the thinking now is that you can't get it a second time. But I love the fact that he's taking that extra precaution and saying, look, if you're going to come over my house, I need to know that you're tested and you're COVID-free. I know everybody can't do that, but I think he has every right to say that.
Well, that's the first thing that flags in my mind is, you got to be tested before you come to my house. Slow down, dude, because you can't get a test, number one, unless you have symptoms. And number two, I'm not going to get the results for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I can't plan ahead like that.
These are friends of Rock, though.
Right.
So they may have a little bit of pull somewhere, but maybe he's probably not going to have a whole lot of visitors to the house in the next couple of weeks.
I do wonder, though, if his daughters have figured out yet that he is Maui from Moana. Because remember, that was the thing initially in the hand washing. They didn't know that he was actually Maui.
I would guess by now they know, but who knows?
Never know.
Okay, head on what's new. Quarantine confessions. This is what we talked about at the top of the show. The things that some of us have shamefully purchased online during this pandemic.
And later, are the owners of the Browns looking to buy an NBA team too? What the Haslams are saying in the wake of a report. And we'll also be taking a look at the forecast. Let's just say the ex-Miss Bezos, she's sitting back saying, oh, I'm having another great day. That's me today with this forecast. Yes. It's just another beautiful day. Great weather coming up for the weekend, everybody. If you have plans, check in. I've got the forecast straight ahead.
Welcome back to What's New. During our self-imposed quarantines, more than a few of us have made some questionable decisions, especially when it comes to shopping online. Don't know what I mean? Here's Mike Polk to explain.
It's part of our Quarantine Confession series, in which we encourage our viewers to open up and share their experiences during this prolonged ordeal. I'd like to hear about some of the most interesting things that you've purchased online over the past few months. It's no secret that online shopping has spiked significantly since the pandemic began. And when you consider that alcohol consumption has followed a similar trend, perhaps it's no surprise that many of us have made some fascinating cyber purchases as of late. And we'd like to hear about yours, if you would be so bold. But first, in the spirit of fairness, I went through my personal Amazon order history to get the ball rolling. March 29th, celestial backdrop. This is when I decided I wanted some options to jazz up my background for Zoom meetings and whatnot. Was it effective? I don't know. You tell me. April 9th, ice cube trays. This is when the ice maker in my fridge broke, and since that seemed too hard to fix, I simply ordered some old ice cube trays and accepted my new reality. May 5th, extra large cat litter mat, because as of late, someone has been throwing their litter around like beads at Mardi Gras. May 25th, earpiece. I got this incredibly cheap earpiece to replace the fancy one that my work gave me, which I somehow managed to lose despite working from home. And this is how I'm telling them. Sorry guys. Side note, can I get a new one? Sounds like everyone's underwater. Sometimes it picks up CB chatter from truckers on the interstate. May 25th, patriotic lounge pants. This was the point at working from home when I said to myself, why am I still wearing pants with a zipper, like some corporate executive, when my whole life right now is Zoom meetings and tight shots? May 27th, drink umbrellas. This is when I tried to spice up my nightlife by adding a little pizzazz to my backyard cocktails to make it feel like I'm on vacation. It actually just ended up bumming me out more, somehow. June 24th, ice maker. This is when I got so sick and tired of filling ice cube trays like it was the 1930s that I decided to take a swing at replacing my ice maker myself. Was I successful? I don't know. You tell me.
This was working 5 minutes ago!
July 20th, powdered wig and colonial hat. This was from when I commemorated the anniversary of our city's founding by reenacting Moses Cleveland's historic arrival on July 22nd, 1796. Now it's your turn. What's the weirdest or most interesting thing that you've bought online since this all began? Let us know so that we can publicize your questionable decisions to the entire greater Northeast Ohio viewing area, if that sounds appealing to you. No judgment on this end. I'm hardly one to throw stones. Thanks. Hope to hear from you soon.
Clear.
Good. Nice work, everybody. That's a wrap. Everybody have a good weekend.
I'm going to say this. All of those purchases were absolutely worth it,
Right.
if for no other reason, Betsy, they made us howl while we were watching
The
that
celestial backdrop
That
is
was the best.
epic. I haven't seen him use that yet in a Zoom meeting. And I'm trying to think, like, gosh, is there anything kind of weird that I have gotten? And I just went into like lockdown mode. So no, I didn't get to.
Yeah, I am honestly too. I'm thinking as hard as I can, and I don't think I've decided that after watching Mike's piece, I live an incredibly boring life.
No.
I mean, Mike just the fact that he would order drink umbrellas to try to spice up his cocktails. I don't think that way. I just kind of go about my everyday business. I haven't ordered anything different.
I think I would want to be on the chain of command that gets to approve his expense reports here. Mike, a colonial hat and a white wig. What's this?
That was my favorite purchase because that piece and him walking out of the water, it just absolutely made my month.
That's our guy.
So good.
Certainly. Well, he was
Love you,
talking
Mike.
about having his little umbrellas for drinks sitting outside in the backyard to spice things up. Well, the patio forecast for tonight is awesome. We have a beautiful evening going on. I think we've got green checks through the board. Now, that being said, of course, we do have a few little asterisks to throw in there. But for now, everything looks great. Temps in the 70s. Very comfortable. Still holding on right around 80 degrees in many locations. Southwesterly winds are going to help to hold the temperatures up for us as we go through the evening. Mostly clear skies continue. We've seen the rain showers this morning off to the south. That's all moving out. And what's left of those clouds are starting to break up a little bit. Beautiful sunshine here on the north coast area. But then we expand the picture and there's this. This is a line that is associated with the second cold front. This is the one we've been talking about all week, the one that will bring the changes. Not that we haven't already felt some changes today. I thought it was pretty comfortable this afternoon, but really dry air is coming in behind this front. And tomorrow morning, we may have some showers that come through tonight on the front, but tomorrow morning, that front is gone. And I think other than a few clouds downwind of Lake Erie, we are looking at a phenomenal Friday. Very dry, very comfortable, and it's going to stay that way as we head into the start of the weekend. Saturday, it looks like the dew points will be down in the 40s, very dry conditions. But then as we get into Sunday and then next week, you can see the humidity starts to hike a little bit. And I do think we are going to throw some rain chances into the forecast. Here's your National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast. There goes that rain. That's the cold front as it comes through. And look what happens to the temperatures, friends. Tomorrow morning, pre-dawn, we're probably going to have some low and mid-50s. But at the start of the day with a light west-southwesterly wind, just a crisp, clear start to the day. Now by afternoon, we're going to see the winds align a little bit coming off the lake, so we may see some lake effect clouds popping up. I really don't think other than a sprinkle at this point now we're going to have any rain, but that northwest wind is going to help to keep the temperatures in check, and I think low 70s for high temperatures tomorrow, despite all of that sunshine. Then watch what happens tomorrow evening. We stay clear. We may have a few clouds pass through to the north, but did you see the 40s that start to show up? So it's certainly a sign of the times and where things stand now that we're in early September. Universal Windows Direct forecast, there's your low 70s for tomorrow, but then upper 70s on Saturday, a few clouds around. Mostly sunny for Sunday. There's our slim pop-up rain chance as the humidity starts to go up. Then the temperatures take off, and you can see by the middle part of next week, Jay, we are right back into the thick of things with temperatures well into the 80s.
Looks marvelous. Betsy, thanks. Boneless wings are alive. Next, the man who is making the case to rename this beloved bar food.
All right, it's time to see what's clicking in Cleveland today. For that, of course, we bring in our digital anchor, Stephanie Haney. Happy Thursday, Haney. It is Friday Eve, and I'm just going to go ahead and be cash and call you by your last name. But my big question is, what's up with this Haslam news? Is this really going to happen?
Oh, Betsy, you and everyone I went to high school with have been Haney my whole life, so it's fine, totally. I know you saw those reports. About the Cleveland Browns owners Jimmy and Dee Haslam potentially looking at buying the NBA's Minnesota Timberwolves. Well, today, Haslam Sports Group, which is led by Dee, told 3 News that yes, the group is always looking at new investments, but that right now, the Haslams are not in the process of trying to buy the Timberwolves. Whoever does will also take over the WNBA's Minnesota Lynx, but that won't be the Haslams, at least not right now. Ohio native Sarah Jessica Parker will be launching a group in support of Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden tonight. The Sex and the City star, who is from Nelsonville, will help launch Moms for Biden during a virtual conversation about school reopenings at 7 p.m. The mom of 3 with husband Matthew Broderick will talk tonight about challenges for parents with kids in schools and Biden and Senator Kamala Harris's plans to reopen schools safely during the pandemic. And this guy, Andrew Christensen, if you haven't seen this yet, he makes a pretty good case for why boneless wings are a lie. Listen to this.
We would be disgusted if a butcher was mislabeling their cuts of meats, but then we go around and pretending as though the breast of the chicken is its wing. Number 2, boneless chicken wings are just chicken tenders, which are already boneless. I don't go to order boneless tacos.
He did this all with a straight face this week in front of City Council in Lincoln, Nebraska. After his speech got very popular online, Buffalo Wild Wings tweeted that he is now officially wanted for wing slander. And he had some pretty good options for alternate names here. He said buffalo-style chicken tenders, wet tenders, my personal favorite, saucy nugs. Betsy, he is not wrong. We have kind of all been living a lie. Let's be honest here.
I know, and I saw that video for the first time yesterday. I was like, wow, this guy really has a lot of time on his hand. And then I started to think about it like, oh, yeah, I guess we wouldn't ask for boneless tacos. Gosh, so makes sense.
Nope, you sure wouldn't. And I'm especially living a lie because my wings are always vegan, so I mean,
oh, that's right.
He's got a really good point here.
Yeah, you have like tofurkey wings or something, so delicious. All right.
Saucy nugs. That's what it is.
Thank you, Stephanie. Appreciate it. All right, everybody, coming up at 5:30, the man-demic. It's a thing, and there's new research that explains why COVID-19 is actually tougher on guys.
I've heard a little bit about this.
Yeah.
I'm anxious to hear more about this.
Well, you're going to tell yourself because you have the story.
Well, Monica's going to tell us.
That's true.
I'm asking the question. Monica's giving us the information. And a major actor from the last Star Wars movie is speaking out. The characters, he said, got short shrift.
And get ready. It's Throwdown Thursday. And I still have the lamp, by the way. It is here in the studio with me, but we're kicking it old school and we're going back to grade school. Uh-oh.
like 5th grade,
I'm
grade
kind
school?
of nervous right now, actually.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Happy Thursday, 5:30, everybody. I'm Betsy Kling, Jay Crawford, my co-pilot today. And I got to tell you, Jay, this morning when I woke up, I was like, okay, you know, we got a few clouds around. And I looked at the radar, and they were getting rain like crazy down in Canton and New Philadelphia.
Right.
And then I walked out this afternoon, and I was like, what is going on? It's amazing.
Beautiful.
I know.
I did yard work this morning, and I remember thinking at one point, this might be the best weather day of the year. No?
Just wait.
So far.
Because tomorrow's going to be pretty darn nice, too.
Oh, I like to hear that.
I know.
That would be fantastic.
Hopefully
I'll
you
take
have more
another one
yard
just like
work
today.
to do.
Gosh, it's been great. Okay, our top talker at 5:30, a group of people who are silently struggling with the pandemic. Men. A lot to unpack in that small statement. Senior health correspondent Monica Robbins joins us now. Monica, great to see you again. So what types of issues are we talking about here?
Well, I want to throw this out there first. It is not just men. We are all feeling the emotional strain of this pandemic. And a big factor is that we don't have any control over this, and there's no end date in sight. So for many of us, that feeling of helplessness is just simply overwhelming. But a new Cleveland Clinic survey shows men in particular are really stressed out over this. In fact, 77% of men say they have been negatively impacted by the pandemic. It's taking both an emotional and mental toll, and 59% of men surveyed say they feel isolated, while others are struggling to stay healthy. A quarter of them reported weight gain, and half of them are avoiding going to see the doctor. The survey also found 66% of guys don't talk about the stress they're feeling.
You're going to find people responding in what we would consider unreasonable ways, where everybody's shaking their head and saying, what's going on with people? Well, they're at their peak stress. Men, you're not alone. Admit that you're having struggles, either to your loved ones or close friends, and finding people that you can share some of these stresses with is going to be important.
On the flip side, 45% say the pandemic has actually improved their health. They're finding ways to exercise and relieve the stress. About a quarter of them are sleeping more and eating healthier too, and they're connecting better with their families, taking timeouts by going outside to walk or run. And more than half of men don't expect this pandemic to end anytime soon. But the majority of respondents say they are optimistic about the future because I'm telling you, everybody, it is going to eventually end. And if you want to control this, following those simple guidelines is one way to take charge and keep the pandemic in check in your life, Jay.
Yeah, you know, it's so interesting because as I'm hearing you talk about this, it's so true. So the things that I jotted down, out of our control. Monica, I don't know about you, but most of the men I know, we love to be in control of a situation, take charge, and can you handle it? And there's nothing we can do about this outside of, following the guidelines, as you said. And the other thing, don't talk about the stress. That's what men don't talk about their stress. I mean, I think that's been proven in study after study. Women are much more likely to talk about that sort of stuff. Men are not. So I guess after listening to you, we need to just sit back and relax. It is what it is, and it's going to end when it ends. And also, we need to talk more, right?
Absolutely. Real men will talk about their stress. It's okay because we're all feeling it. And I have to say, I bet you women are right along those. If they would have asked women the same questions, they would have probably come up with the same answers. And I don't know about you, but every time I see everybody out there running and these Facebook posts of people losing weight, I am so jealous of them. So yes, I definitely think we're all feeling this, but the bottom line is, I really do think it's a control thing. And you do have control. We will get control of this. And so your environment is one thing you can control.
I ask you quickly, we're closer to the end of this than to the beginning, don't you think?
Yes, I do think we are. But I don't think by any means it's over. And we're going to see more spikes and more downtrends and spikes than I would wish we would, but it's still coming.
That's what I hold on to every day. We're closer to the end than we are to the beginning. Monica, thanks. Always good to see you.
Sure.
Remember when you held my hand for the flu shot? I feel like I should have held your hand while you were saying all that.
It was therapeutic just to say it on TV.
Moments you were having
Yeah,
there.
I needed to say it out loud,
Betsy.
Bets.
Like I'm here. But,
We're gonna have a long talk after this show.
Please, I'm all ears. I'm here
Okay.
for you, friend. All right, if you are in the market for a new home, you got to check this out. Even if it's out of your price range, trust me, it's worth a look on Zillow. There is a beautiful home for sale in Kirtland Hills, located on Sanctuary Drive, 9,600 feet, 6 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, swimming pool too. But the real gem is what you're seeing there. It's an exact replica of the Oval Office the owner built inside after becoming fascinated and inspired by American history.
Wow.
Boy, it'd be really cool if we could build an Oval Office in our home. It's full scale, height and length. It's slightly less in width, but essentially it's full size Oval Office.
Can you believe that? I'm
epic.
stunned by this.
Epic.
I love it. The Oval Office looks just like it did back when Presidents G.W. Bush and President Obama was there. The home just went on the market. So if you're interested, contact Howard Hanna Realty Company. And there's more detailed information on our webpage, WKYC.com, and the 3 News app.
Are we allowed to talk about the price? Because I saw this on social media yesterday. Are we allowed to talk about the price?
Go ahead, I'm sure.
It's over $2.5 million.
Yeah, it's in Kirtland, big house.
It's a huge
grounds.
house.
Yeah, and
but Bets, think about it. Could you imagine? Let's just say you were to move in there. You could have your kids sit in the Oval Office and learn online.
I'm thinking if they have an
cool would that
open
be?
house, like the open houses for the real estate market, you know, when you go and check the house out, like, hey,
I
can
love
I
it.
stop in?
It's so cool. Your father would like to see you in the Oval Office.
You're so popped in.
All right, Betsy, it is time now for our Show Us Something Good segment. We do this every day and we love it. Today it takes us to Charlotte, North Carolina, where kids at a children's hospital got a wonderful surprise. It really never gets old, does it? Superman, Spider-Man, Captain America, and Iron Man all spotted doing a different kind of heroic job, surprising the kids as they wash the windows along the multi-story hospital building. Normally, Superman, as you know, does not wear a mask, but he does this year, and it's just as special for the grown-ups as it is for the kids. How cool is that, Bets? Can you imagine if you're sitting in one of those rooms
Right.
and you look out and they're washing windows, you're like, hey, whoa, hey.
You're about a 4-year-old kid.
Spider-Man, listen, in my case, I'm like a 7-year-old kid because I'm not kidding you. If you would have asked me when I was 7 years old, hey, are these guys real? Absolutely they're real.
Yes.
They're 1,000% real.
Right? And then they
So-
just drop into your view.
He's cleaning my windows as Spider-Man.
They've done that at Akron Children's Hospital.
They
a few
have,
times,
yeah.
Too, and it's just so fantastic. Those smiles are everything.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, the popular show getting a reboot that has some wondering, is it too soon for a reboot? That is coming up next in your Pop Break.
One thing that's not too soon for a reboot, this beautiful weather that we've been having.
Yeah.
Comfortable day today. We've got an even more comfortable day tomorrow. That leads us into the long weekend. I have the outlook straight ahead.
Did we lose? We lost something, huh? And music.
The audio
too, right?
board is dead. That's all. Reboot it. Yeah, fantastic. Well, that's true. We have our buzzers.
Is anyone in there?
I've never seen it, never heard of it, had no idea what I was talking about.
Pop break with, right? So, like, I don't know what I'm going to say.
This is going to be very fun, Frank.
Okay, give me some things to say, Mama. No, just give me a couple things to say, and I'm going to say, I don't know a thing about this show, but our producer Momo tells me it's a great show. Great show. She loves the show. Okay. When did this end? Well, that wasn't that long ago. Right.
It's dark, right?
Oh, that's a terrible idea for a show. Seriously.
Says the father with a daughter.
Yeah, exactly.
Guess who's stalking who now?
Right.
That's my dad. You don't have Jay's mic? Uh-oh.
That's okay.
What does that mean?
So that means that at the end of this segment, we'll just keep going?
So we did back-to-back breaks?
Okay. Will we be able to hear that? Can you hear that in the control room? No kidding. Wow.
Is that microphone working? Because they do have a mic on there.
Oh, they do have a mic?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
We got 3 of our best guys on it now.
How much longer do we have in this break? What do you mean? Whoa. ELC crashed or what? Yep. Okay. How long? $30. Okay. All right, everybody, back here at the 3 News Studios. I want to be completely honest. We are having some behind-the-scenes technical difficulties. Jay talked too much and burned up the audio board. So this is going to actually work out great for me for Throwdown Thursday because right now my microphone's the only one that works. So you may not even get to chime in. This is going to be awesome. I have no problems with this. But anyway, we have our best people working on it. Literally, there's like 4 people working on our audio board right now. So we're just going to keep on going with the forecast to keep you filled in here. We will be seeing some clouds that roll in as we head toward the after sunset hours, so midnight hour or so, as temperatures are going to start to slide back. You can see by tomorrow morning, though, we're talking 60 degrees in the morning. That's a lot cooler than we have been here in the last couple of days. Southwest wind continues for us. Temperatures right now right around the 80-degree mark or so, but we have felt a lot less humid in the afternoon hours, and that has certainly been a very good thing. You can see the rain, the clouds that were just very prevalent across areas south of Cleveland early this morning. That's all outbound, but what is inbound is the next front, and this is the front that is the leading edge of much cooler, much drier air. You can see there's just a little ribbon of shower chances that come right along that front, so that's why we have the clouds increasing toward the midnight hour and the little chance for some showers to pass through through. But on the backside of that, other than a few clouds downwind of Lake Erie, I think we are set for a gorgeous day tomorrow. Northwest to north winds on the near shore waters of Lake Erie, 3 to 6 foot waves. So we're going with a small craft advisory tomorrow. Going to be a little bumpy out there. National Design Mart hour by hour forecast, a little different view for you. Temperatures in the 70s tomorrow afternoon, mostly sunny. Again, clouds downwind of the lake, so mostly sunny skies should be about it. I think low 70s, about 73 or so for your average high temperature across northeast Ohio tomorrow. Greater Cleveland, about 72, 73 degrees. Here's the rest of your Universal Windows direct forecast. Upper 70s, partly cloudy for Saturday. We will bring in a very slight, isolated pop-up chance for rain later in the day on Sunday with highs around 80 degrees. But then even into the Labor Day holiday on Monday, it looks like it's going to be a phenomenal wrap up to the unofficial summer season with temperatures getting back into the mid 80s. Here's the catch though, we will also have more humidity for your Labor Day holiday. So the 3-day weekend right now looks beautiful. By Tuesday then, we're kicking the heat back into high gear as we're going to top out in the upper 80s. Then showers and storms along with the next front that's coming our way won't arrive until Wednesday evening, and then that will finally push temperatures back down into the 70s for our Thursday. We'll have hopefully more Throwdown Thursday. At least I'm going to have Throwdown Thursday coming up in just a little bit. Okay. Oy vey, what are we going to do? Okay. Hard reset. I'll just get the thing just in case. Maybe.
Or maybe not.
Okay. Jay is introing it.
Well, you know that sound. It means it is time for your daily dose of pop culture. Betsy has today's pop break.
21 Pilots singer Tyler Joseph is apologizing today after sending out what some fans are calling an insensitive tweet. Joseph has been pretty quiet on social media since the beginning of June, and many have spent the past few months asking him to use his platforms to advocate for social justice causes. Joseph finally posted on Thursday, writing, "You guys keep asking me to use my platforms. Feels good to dust these bad boys off." Now, the problem is, Joseph did take a stand, but it was in platform shoes. The singer later said he uses humor to cope with difficult times and that he realizes that this may not be the appropriate moment. Actor John Boyega is calling out Disney over what he says is a mishandling of diverse characters in the Star Wars films. Boyega, who plays Finn in The Last Jedi and Rise of the Skywalker, told British GQ that he wished the franchise approached the storylines of minority characters differently, including the roles played by co-stars Kelly Marie Tran and Oscar Isaac. What I would say to Disney is do not bring out a black character, market them to be much more important in the franchise than they are, and then have them pushed to the side. Can't really argue with them on that one. And in a move that no one could have predicted and absolutely no one asked for, Pretty Little Liars is getting a reboot. Variety is reporting that a new iteration of the iconic teenage drama is in the works with the series creator of Riverdale at the helm. No word yet if any members of the original cast will show up or just how closely it will follow the first version, but it feels like this could be a new guilty pleasure. The show is already pretty dark in its first run, so we're anxious to see how the Riverdale creators can take it up a notch.
Jay, I know you are so excited about that Pretty Little Liars reboot.
Dialed in. When is that? Do we know? We don't know yet, do we?
He's never seen it. I've never heard of it.
No, I haven't, but I'll tell you what, this is where it's great because Monique, our wonderful producer, she's going to be my voice on this little portion of the program. She says that it's a great show. It's a little bit dark. And she says it's about these high school girls who get stalked, but they don't know how they're being followed, and then the stalker is making them do uncomfortable things. Sounds like a bad idea for a show to me, personally, as a father of a daughter. But Monique also wonders, where do you go from here?
Right.
And that's what I would also wonder. I don't know where they're going to go from here, Bets.
How much more dark and scary can we make it?
I don't know.
Not enough.
Hopefully less than the original.
Can I bring something into the...
Yes, you may. We're ready for Throwdown Thursday, aren't we?
That's right. There it is.
You've had the leg lamp for a couple of weeks.
The leg lamp is mine.
Not fair.
I let you lose it the first week.
You did.
And then I actually won it the second week. That was good.
Yeah.
But now we're going to be fighting for the coveted What's New leg lamp. Mike has his game show host paraphernalia on. We're really hoping it would be the celestial background, honestly. But the red curtain works.
The red velvet curtain is fitting for this segment.
I only bring that out for special occasions. Welcome, everybody, to Throwdown Thursday. Are you guys ready to rock?
Oh, we were born ready.
Can you hear that, everybody? Hopefully. So obviously the audio board has been rebooted. Jay, unfortunately, can be heard now. And our little clickers will let everybody know.
Hey, we have to tell everyone what the theme is, right, Mike?
Yeah, what is
we're going back to school now. So I guess this is kind of like, do you remember the show, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Was that the name of the show? Right?
It was, yes.
Okay.
That was it.
So that's the theme here. Mike's going to ask us questions from our elementary school days to see who remembers more of all that stuff. So go ahead, Mike, take it away.
All right. All right, are you guys ready to rock? Here we go. It's Throwdown Thursday, and just so you know, I didn't know any of the answers to these. I don't know what that says about me, but it's not a good thing. Here's your first question, you guys. Earth is made up of 3 plate boundaries. What are the names of those boundaries? Whoever.
This is right in Betsy's wheelhouse.
That's me. That's me.
Betsy.
The plate boundaries, this is tectonic boundaries, I'm assuming.
Is the next question going to be weather related?
Convergent, where the 2 plates come together. Divergent, when they're pulling apart. And then I think it's transition, where they're sliding against each other. Is it transition?
It's transform. We will accept transition because you were so close and I'm very impressed. Absolutely. That's 1 point for Betsy. Great job, you beautiful nerd of ours.
Wow.
All right, next question.
I'm protesting the rest of this. Okay,
Here
go
comes
ahead.
the math equation, you guys. Don't worry, Jay. Here's one for
I got
you.
that.
It's a math equation.
I got
Here's the question. I didn't ask it yet, Jay.
I
Just
saw
give
it
us,
on the screen.
All right. Okay, well, solve this math equation.
It's
11
on the
cubed.
screen. Yeah, the answer would be, I hope I did my second equation right, 1,331.
That's what my calculator says.
Are you?
Calculator?
What are you doing?
School? You're letting
It's
his
cubed.
calculator.
It's very simple. It's 11 times 11, which is 121.
Times 11.
12 times 12
All
is
right.
144. It's 11, and then 121 times 11 is 1331.
We're all impressed. We love how you showed us your work there, Jay. Thank you. You got that.
I get an extra point
all
because
right.
I showed my work. 2 to 1.
Core.
Now, So it's now tied up 1-1. Next question. That was apparently taught in 5th grade. The Revolutionary War started in 1775. But what year did those lazy bones Frenchmen get involved? What year was it? A, 1775, B, 1778, or C, 1780?
Where's Hamilton
When did the French
I
jump
need
in?
him?
They weren't in it originally, and I don't think it took them 5 years, so I'm going 1778.
1778 is correct. Jay Crawford is the winner of today's Throwdown Thursday. Congratulations, Jay. You get the leg lamp.
Thank you very much, Mike Polk. I think I've really worked hard for that.
You did.
Betsy, you'll have to give that to me in the commercial break. We're coming back to wrap up this edition of What's New right after this.
There you go.
It's going to look good on my desk. Thank you, Bets.
Stinker.
Thank you. That first one, by the way.
Really?
I didn't know any of them, but when you said transition, I said that's not one of them. That is definitely not one. So cumulus clouds are an upper level belt.
Oh, the next question was how many elements are in the periodic table? It's 118. I knew that one.
And then the next question was, what's a cumulus cloud?
I know that one too.
I think the questions were rigged.
Oh, come on. You won.
We're out of time. We hope you join us tomorrow again at 5 for our Friday edition of What's New.
Oh, it's guaranteed to be a very fun time. So we'll